Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Tina Carini with Sponge and Stamp. I have a beautiful little card, cute card to show you guys, and I'm going to show you how I made this. And this is using Stampin' Up! Spots and Dots, or Dots and Spots die, and the designer tag dies. The designer tag dies are on the retiring list and will no longer be available come May. So I thought I would use this, and this is just a really cool idea how to use the die. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I have is a piece of cardstock. This is Flirty Flamingo. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and fold that in half. And I'm going to use my bone folder and give it a nice crisp little fold here. And then what I have is I've already die cut my piece of white cardstock. This measures 3 3/8 by 4.5, but you may have a little bit different measurements when you die cut it, because I cut it out on probably about a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of white cardstock. And then I just trimmed it down so that I could try not to have cuts in my circles. And then my layering piece is basic black, and that's 3.5 by 4 5/8, I believe. And so what I did was I just flipped this over to the back side, and then I have strips of scrap cardstock that I have. You know, we all have those. And so I thought, well, how could I use these? And then with the die, I thought, well, this is really cool. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to glue them down to the bottom of our piece of white cardstock that we've already ran through and die cut with the dots and spots die. Let me show you the die. This is it. It's really cool. It's in the annual catalog. It is carrying over, and I believe it is on page 170, and it goes for $32. But it's a really cool die, and there's all kinds of things that you can use with it to make pretty backgrounds and just little fun little elements to embellish your cards with. So I'm going to use a little bit of, I may have to get some more glue of my combo here. So it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and I'm just going to put it carefully around my dots for each strip, because I don't want it to bleed through, but I want it to be enough to where I can stick it. And I'm just going to bring it right over to the edge over here, because what I'm going to do is trim it all off when I'm done. So these are 1/2 inch strips, and I just made them long enough to go over whatever size this ended up being when I cut it. And then we'll just trim them off. And let's see, then we're going to do, I know I have a Highland Heather somewhere right here. So this was Gorgeous Grape. This is Highland Heather, and I'm just going to place it right up next to it as close as I can get it, just like that. And then we're going to use Fresh Freesia, which I know a lot of you probably already know that Fresh Freesia is now one of our core colors. It retired from the In Colors, and now it's one of our core colors, and it's such a beautiful purple. I love it. And then I'm going to use Calypso Coral, and we're just going to go down just like so. This is really easy to do. And, oh, I didn't get that over far enough. Oh, well, we're going to leave it. It's going to be all right. All right. So I just thought this would be a fun little tutorial just to show you different uses of this die and different uses for your scraps of your cardstock. You could use designer series paper too, probably. I don't know that it would show up very well through the dots, but the patterns are not. But you could give it a try and see. And so I have Calypso Coral, Flirty Flamingo, and then this is Blushing Bride, which is retiring as well. Then I'm going to come in with Bermuda Bay, which sadly, this is my favorite color of all time. It's not only just my Stampin' Up! Favorite color, it is my favorite color. And it's retiring, but it's okay because there's beautiful colors that are coming in, so I'm okay with it. It's always good to get a change, right? So let's see here. We're going to butt that up, glue that down. Then I'm going to come in with Coastal Cabana and then Pool Party. And then I'm just going to line this up. If you give this a try, which I hope that you do, you may have a little overage on your card and you may not, but again, you can just trim that off. It's not a big deal at all. Just take your paper snips or your trimmer, whichever you prefer. So isn't that really pretty? I just think that that's so pretty, and it just adds a little something something to it. That's my ribbon scissors. Don't want to use those. I think I want to use a longer blade so that I can just give it a nice little trim using the side of the white cardstock as my edge and my guide, and hope that I don't cut into it. Just like that, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to trim that off as well. Try to. Like so. Okay, so there we go. So these, you can save these for sentiments or whatever, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw those away. Now we're going to layer this on our black cardstock. So I'm going to put some glue down here, and I'm just going to try to center this straight on here and even, just like so. And then there we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up using some dimensional, Stampin' Dimensional. And then we're just going to center it on the card. The best that we can. Best that I can. All right, there we go. And now I've already die cut my tag and my butterfly using the designer tags. And I am going to show you the dies real quick. So these are the 3 dies that I used using the designer tags dies. These are retiring, and I'm so sad because I just purchased these probably 6 or 7 months ago. But these are, I have had so much fun with these dies. There's so many different things that you can do with them, and it's really worth the investment. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to stamp just because I used Memento, and I'm going to do that again, just some black ink. And the sentiment that I'm using is also from a retiring stamp set, and I'm not sure if that's sold out yet or not, but it is from the Lovely You. I'm sad to see this go too, because I really love it, and I got a lot of usage out of the sentiments and the little flowers too, because sometimes you just need a little something just to decorate something with, just to make it look a little bit more fancy. So I really did enjoy that stamp set. I'm sad to see it go as well. I'm going to pop this up too. So we are going to pop that up. I'm going to use 2 little Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just going to, you can put this anywhere you want, or straight if you want, or however you want. Then I'm going to use my little butterfly that comes in the designer tags. And we are just going to, I'm just going to put it like that, I think. Just like there. I'm not going to pop this up. I'm just going to put a little spot of glue right there. And I think I'm just going to go right like so. And then you can dress it up and put some rhinestones or some embellishments, whatever you have. I have some of these. I don't even remember the name of them, and I've lost the package that it comes in, but I know they're retiring. At least I believe they are. Excuse me. I have a frog in my my throat. So we're just going to put a little dimensional, or not a dimensional, but one of these little embellishments right there. These might be the pastels. I can't remember. But anyway, so that card is all done. So what do you think? Tell me if you like this. If you're going to give it a try, just comment down below and let me know what you think. So there's the original, and there is the one we just did. So this is the other card that I did using the dots and spots dies and the designer tags. And I think that this is really pretty too. It's a really cool idea. It really gives a fun background. So I'm not going to make this whole card, but what I thought was I could just show you how I did it. So I've got a piece of cardstock that actually was trimmed off from one that I ran through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I have little 1/4-inch strips of cardstock scraps. And all I'm going to do is just weave them through. You might have to take your pick tool or your scoring tool, or whatever you have to do it, just to kind of poke it through so that it comes through. And you just weave it like you're weaving a basket. Very easy to do. You can even bend your cardstock a little bit. Curve it, don't bend it, but you know what I'm saying. At least I think you do. And you just weave it through. And you could do all one color. You could do alternating colors like I did here, or you can do an ombre. Whatever you want to do, you just have fun with it and just have fun. That's really what it's all about, right? Is just having some fun. And you just weave it through. It may take a little bit of time until you get a rhythm going, and but it's worth it because it's so pretty. I think it's beautiful. And it's unique looking. You can't buy a card like this in the stores, right? So there you go. So when you do this, you're going to want to trim your, well, this wasn't quite long enough. You want to trim your cardstock to where, your strips will fit, or you cut your strips long enough, however you want to do it. But that's all you do, is you just weave it in and out. Just weave it in and out. Excuse me. And I won't sit here and make you guys watch this because I think you get the idea of how to do it. So you just weave it in and out, and then you get this. And then you layer it on whatever color of background that you want. And the dimensions that for this card were, the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. The white cardstock that we die cut is, let me see here, it's 3 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then the black is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. Now your dimensions may be a little different because depending on how you trim yours down. And then I used a designer tag, this little cute one here. And then I just cut a little square that was just a little under 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch, and glued it on the back, put a little rhinestone, and used a little linen thread and made a bow. So I hope that you really like this card and these ideas, and that you give them a try. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I really invite you to do so. That would really help me out to get me going, and to help share the love of paper crafting and card making. And please give me a thumbs up and comment down below, because that also really helps too. And I so appreciate you and taking the time to watch this little tutorial. And I have a great day. Thank you. Toodaloo.